Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Making of Evelina Smiles with Dr. Rich Constantine. I'm your co-host, Ashley Hovez. And before we get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you, of course, to all of you for listening. You guys are what makes this community so special. And you can follow us on all the socials. They will be linked in the show notes. Last episode, we got to know a little bit more about Dr. Rich Constantine. We talked about his brand and the team that he's building or wanting to build, I should say. We talked about the namesake, where Evelina Smiles came from. He also broke down the sunflower logo, the Cup of Jane Coffee Bistro, and the look of just what he's building, a massive 14 op layout that he wants to feel like a high-end living space, not a sterile clinic. He talked about culture and the type of people he wants to hire. We talked about launching a lean full-time core team, one admin, one assistant, one hygienist, and one hybrid. He also just talked about the importance of communication and not being afraid to start off with a higher overhead, i.e., hiring a hygienist right out of the gate. What else did we talk about? The money, accepting PPOs, having a membership plan. He gave us so much valuable insight into communication, how he says certain things a certain way. And we also talked about the current state of construction. So last week's episode was a great one, as usual. And I can't wait for you to hear this week's episode with Dr. Rich Constantine. We're just going to get right into it, guys. And I just want to introduce my guest of honor. You guys already know and love him. Dr. Rich Constantine, welcome back, friend. How are you?
Good, Ashley. How's your week going?
It's going so far, so good. I I was just telling Rich that I was just going to hit record because I just wanted to say that it has been so nice chatting with you, Rich. Every time I re-listen to one of our episodes, I'm like, dang, he is such an excellent communicator. Like I have taken so much. No, you really are. You really are. Like I re-listened to our last episode on my drive to work, and there were so many nuggets that you said that I'm like going to steal from my own office. Like, what's holding you back? And why are we focusing on the education instead of the outcome? And just like things like that. I'm like, I'm going to make my team listen to that episode. It was so good.
Well, I appreciate that. I definitely don't always feel like the best communicator, that's for sure.
Oh, well, the fact that you are so humble just makes it even better. And Brian, my husband, who you haven't met yet, he said to me yesterday, he's like, I really enjoy your conversations with Rich. Like it feels like Rich is bringing out a side of you where for a long time I didn't see because I was feeling burnt out but he's like, but hearing you just riff with Rich and like since he's already a seasoned startup business owner, he's in the same boat doing it again. It's like something in you has been sparked again. And so Brian really appreciates that enough that he wanted me to know that. And I'm like, okay, I love that. And I want you to know that, Rich, because I really feel that. I really enjoy our conversations. I feel like you have provided so much value already in the 3 episodes we've done. And this is episode number 4. Are you excited?
Yeah, and I really appreciate that because I it makes me feel good because I definitely want to bring value because I feel like your podcast and what you put out there is so important for people to hear, and the realer we can be, the better. And I think because we both have some bruises and scars from several years of being in the chair and owning a business that you know, it probably comes off more genuine just because we lived it.
Yes, absolutely. And I like how you describe it as bruises and scars because it really, this business, whatever you're deciding to build, it really does leave an impression, whether it's a good impression, a not so good impression, it teaches you lessons.
Yeah.
And Colin and I just recorded before we hopped on. And that episode is all the learning lessons, i.e., mistakes that I've made. And it's only like 30 minutes long. So obviously, we only covered one mistake. So there will be so many to talk about, I'm sure. Okay, so let's do a this or that. You ready?
Ready.
I don't know where Colin gets this stuff. Okay. Fingers for toes or toes for fingers?
Fingers for toes, because I feel like I'd be that a lot more agile.
Yes. And then live without music or live without TV?
Live without TV.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Oh, crunchy, because I feel like that is a meal in itself. It was for me in college on several occasions.
I love it. I love that you always have something to say. Okay, so I will echo what you said. I would definitely choose fingers for toes because I think toes are just they're just not cute. And
Well,
you
especially for what we do. Like, I can't imagine coming at somebody with
could you imagine? Yeah,
how to.
that would really weaken our dentistry game for sure. And then live without music or without TV. Definitely live without TV. Yeah. Because I mean, I can be entertained with a Kindle. I can be entertained with like just Spotify playing.
Yeah.
Um, don't get me wrong, I do love a raunchy TV series. I like all the Taylor Sheridan. You know who Taylor Sheridan is, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my
Did you
gosh,
start the
like
new one? The Dutton Ring? Yeah,
yes. Did you
yeah,
start it too?
yeah.
Oh, we should have a meetup in Montana.
Oh, I'm down for that any day.
Maybe we'll go ranch style, guys. For our last meetup, we had it in Vail. And one of the days we took them on a ranch, and there was bull riding and like wine tasting, country line dancing. It was so fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then crunchy or smooth peanut butter. I love the crunch. You're absolutely right. That could be a meal. In fact, for my birthday one year, my entire team just got me peanut butter bottles because that's two of our sons have peanut allergies. So
Uh-huh.
I can't eat it at home, even though I hide it on top in the pantry. But I love peanut butter so much.
We
It's like the
had peanut
best food.
butter in my house just because I eat it too fast.
Okay. Do you put peanut butter in the refrigerator or is it in the counter?
I
Just
don't I don't put it if it's just like regular peanut butter like store shelf bought, I usually will just keep it on the shelf. But you know how sometimes some grocery stores have the machine that it comes out,
yeah,
it grinds it and it comes
yeah.
out. Sometimes that gets too oily, so sometimes I do put that in the refrigerator.
Gotcha. Now you're a fit guy, Rich. Are you tracking your serving sizes of your peanut butter?
No, I just have to know that if I buy the peanut butter, I shouldn't be tracking my macros.
Yeah.
Because the minute that first spoonful goes in,
Oh, it's over.
yeah, it's over.
It is over. Yes. Oh my gosh. I just recently, this is totally side note. I just recently started tracking like all of my macros and holy smokes. I think I was eating 6 tablespoons of peanut butter in one sandwich. Mm. And then wondering why everything got a little tighter. Now I know. All right, guys. So without further ado, let's jump right in. This episode is going to be a nuts and bolts, all of the quite literally the nuts and bolts that go into the business side, the practice side. So we are going to cover technology, software, equipment, supplies, and let's just start. Are you ready?
Ready?
Okay, let's do this. So, did you end up going with a cloud-based or a server-based practice management software, Rich?
We ended up going with cloud-based.
And then do you mind sharing who you're using?
Yeah, sure. We decided after looking at a lot of them that we went with CareStack.
Okay. And then tell me what you like. Obviously, there's so many different, it's like so hard to choose with
Yeah.
the different softwares and everything. How did you end up choosing CareStack?
We just felt like with their research and development that they had and all the things they had coming through the pipeline, we still feel like there's some outside things, and we'll probably get into this, that there's some third party that specializes in some things that CareStack's beginning to bring onto their workflow. But we just felt like CareStack had a full menu of options for where we think we're going to go with the practice as we grow. And then the reason why we like cloud-based is just the ability to work remotely, to be able to get into the system from home, especially if I'm not at the office or if I'm traveling and the office is open. The convenience there to not have to drive into the office to do something or to look something up that's important if you're on the patient, if you're on the phone with a patient. And then I had a colleague that I'm close to that spoke highly of CareStack. So we just felt good about it. And the thing with PMS is just it's such a hard decision to make, but then it's such a hard decision to ever switch if you
Yes.
switch.
Yep.
It's because it's a total disruption within the office. It's hard to get the team behind
Yeah.
the um, the battle of those first several weeks as you're in it because you get used to the workflow of it, and it's just a tough thing. But we feel good about CareStack, and they've been good as far as their customer service. They're really good with their customer service.
Do you know at the top of your head how much they charge per month?
What it is per month?
Yeah. Do
We
they have
have
a special startup package? Do you
Yeah,
know?
they have a special startup package with a percentage off. I think you can either do a percentage off for the whole first 12 months, or you can start off with the first few months at like zero cost or something. It ends up being very similar.
Now, I'm not too familiar with CareStack. Is it
Mhm.
an all-in-one software? Like, can it do patient
It,
messaging?
yeah, it can. However, we felt like there was some other systems out there that we knew of that we wanted to work with, and CareStack. And I understand why businesses do this, especially if they have things in development, but oftentimes they'll close their platform from allowing others to work with them. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that with some of the things, but we've been able to integrate some of the third party people that we wanted to use, and that was important with him. Now, sometimes, just for instance, the phones and the messaging and things like that, we're going to use Mango for.
Okay.
You've heard of Mango?
Yes, we use Mango. We love Mango.
Yeah, so we've heard great things about Mango, and Laura Hatch is somebody we've done business with in the past, and we like her a lot. And um, even though it doesn't fully integrate with the software, we still see a benefit with it. I think eventually it might integrate with CareStack, but for now, there's just certain things that we want to use, and because we want to use it, it'll have to be like a separate window that'll be pulled up on the home screens for the
Gotcha.
team, which can be a little bit cumbersome, but um, until CareStack gets some of their things that are in development up to the level where we want it to be, we felt like we needed to go this direction. Does that make sense? I hope I.
Yes. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. So far, CareStack, Mango
Yeah.
for your phones. And then what about patient communication?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a combination of what CareStack offers with Mango.
So
Yeah.
you're not using something like Medento or Flex or nothing like that.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
then we looked at doing for our merchant services, we're looking at doing a company called Nada Payments. You may have heard of them.
No,
No?
nada payments.
Yeah, Nada Payments is, I've heard about them through a lot of dental podcasts. So they will give you your card readers and everything. They do integrate with some of the server-based softwares. Unfortunately, not CareStack just yet, but
Oh no.
they do. It's very simplistic in the chargeback services. Kind of like when you go to a restaurant or
Yes.
um, Starbucks, where there's really not that push and pull with like, where you have to say, hey, there's a 3% extra charge for using a credit card versus
Right.
a debit card or whatnot. So it's all on the screen. So the people that I know that have it's made it really streamlined for them, and there's really no pushback because it's really right there on the screen for them. It's this much if you use a credit card, it's this much if you use a debit card.
Gotcha.
And we want to avoid all those like counter conversations that, you know, the back and forth as much as we can.
Hey, Rich, can you ask them for added gratuity?
Oh, yeah. How weird would that be? Yeah.
I've always wondered. Well, one, I hate that. Like when I go to takeout, I feel like you didn't even serve me.
Yeah.
I don't know. This whole gratuity culture, I don't know. It's just bonkers to me. I'm like, if anybody deserves added gratuity, it's freaking us for bending over backwards for these patients.
Yeah, I still scratch my head on some of that, but
Yeah.
I always do it because,
Because you feel bad. Yeah.
yeah, the whole guilt thing. I know some people though, when they turn that around and that there's that gratuity, they'll like purposely look that person in the eye and just hit no.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so awkward. Like you'll go to a restaurant and then they'll hand you that mobile thing, right? That you put your card in, and they're just hovering over you when it's that time to
Uh,
choose how much gratuity. I'm like, this is so awkward. Okay, so side note. Okay, so not a payment.
hmm
Is that NADA?
Yeah.
NADA, but it doesn't integrate yet with CareStack.
No. So, with that, when you take the payment, yes, you will have to put that into the system,
Gotcha.
and apply it to the service, but, is what it is kind of. I know they work with like Open Dental and EagleSoft and Dentrix, but, you know, Open Dental is what it is, and then the server base, they're not as closed off as some of the cloud ones are. So,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, we're going to use. We worked with a company in the past called Remote Sourcing that helps with claims and
Okay.
verifications. So,
Tell me about remote sourcing. Do they charge a flat monthly or do they take a percentage of whatever they're collecting a month?
uh, that would be a Trish question because but
Okay.
that's her bag. Like she knows so much about insurance negotiations, credentialing, onboarding. That's what she does for the company she works for.
Oh, nice. That was going to be my next question. So, is Trish helping you with insurance credentialing now?
Yeah, she's kind of like my secret weapon. She's not. We're not working together per se in the office again,
Yeah.
but she can definitely help out on that side of things for sure.
Nice. That'll save you a boatload of money.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
And you just have to take her to a really nice dinner or vacation.
yeah, yeah.
Because when I first started, we did unlock the PPO.
Mm,
And this was, I mean, I guess almost 9 years ago. And at the time it was like 5 or 6 grand. So I can't imagine how much they're charging now. Um, yeah.
yeah, I remember the first practice, I was so naive and not knowing, and we looked at the employers in the area to decide which companies we were going to go and network with, not knowing that the umbrella plans with
Yeah.
we ended up being in network with so many more, and then their ability to charge the lower fee schedule if they're part of that umbrella. It just got
It's crazy.
so tricky, and I don't know. Yeah, I we talked a little bit about this on the last podcast, and I don't think you're going to find a dentist that loves insurance or enjoys being in network. But my mindset with that is these are people that don't the people that don't understand how dental insurance is different than medical insurance. I might never have had the chance to treat them or provide them services or to show them what a dental experience like we offer is like. So I
Mhm.
feel like the benefit is there to be able to see these people. And if I never allow them to have that experience, then they're never going to know the difference. So even if we come out of network later on, or if we talk to them about joining our in-house membership plan, they're never going to know what it's like to experience the care that we provide in the office, or the people or the team or the other doctors. They're not going to know what that's like if they never came into the office in the first place. So I think there is a benefit by being in network because it's marketing in a way. You know,
Hmm.
you hate hearing when patients, how did you hear about us? Oh, you're just in network
Yep.
with my insurance. It's a little disheartening, but it's also a chance to wow people. And as you know, there's no better marketing than in-house referrals. So I think if the more people you can touch points are big to create that experience and have them share that for other people, then it's a win-win.
Absolutely. Now, do you know, Rich, if you are already like finished being credentialed with all of the plans that you plan on being in network with?
We're in the process with most of them. Two of them we just finished up. So the biggest elephant in the room is always Delta Dental. What are you going to do? Um,
Hmm.
because you can't be in their premier if you're in network with other ones. So they are a big player in our hospital systems down here, as well as Amazon. And so we are going to be in network with their PPO plan. Um, we were able to negotiate a little bit with them. It's still going to be our lowest fee schedule. But we ended up deciding to go with them anyway. So they're one of them. Aetna is another. We're working with Optum Health because of their work with veterans. Um, they had a good fee schedule for that.
Nice.
Cigna was another one, and Blue Cross Blue Shield because most of the teachers down here have BCBS.
Gotcha.
I think that's
Awesome.
all of them.
Before we get going into more of the technology that you're putting in, did you decide to put in Apple or Windows computers?
Windows. Yeah,
Windows.
just yeah, Windows.
Nice. Okay, Windows. Are you doing a backup server just in case for your cloud software?
No, we might end up doing a server specifically just to house all our CT scans.
Mm.
Um, that was a conversation I had with my IT specialist. Um, yeah,
And okay, so since you brought up CT, are you starting out with a CT?
yeah. I always had Sirona CT in the past, the Orthofos XG3D, I think it was called at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that we're using, we're going to be putting in this office is a Plan Mecca.
Oh,
I can't remember the model name of it, but I went up to their center in Charlotte, and it was pretty impressive as far as the planning software, and I felt like the images were actually a lot clearer than the old Sirona that I had.
now are you also treating airway or just
No, I'm not.
implants?
Yeah, just implants. I'm not treating airway. There's different opinions that I've heard of what all you can truly see on a CT through airway. I know that a lot of insurance companies require that to be done, but I've talked to people that disagree with what
Mm.
is actually visible as far as airway goes on the CT. But we did get the full volume though because of full arch cases and wisdom teeth and sinus lifts.
Do you do all of that stuff?
Hmm.
Okay, let's back up for a second. Where did you do a lot of your training?
Um, I did my first implant training. It was mainly all didactic. That was at the Triangle Dental Institute in Raleigh Durham area. And then I went down to an AEGD program that put on a course in Bessemer, Alabama. The doctor's name was McCracken. He was really good. That was because I took the triangle course and he spoke there, he allowed me to come down for a couple of days and just basically place a bunch of implants. So that's where I got a lot of hands-on stuff. And then when it really started clicking was when I started going out to Implant Pathway in
Oh,
Arizona.
nice.
That's been great for me and for a lot of people that I know.
Did
I
you
met a lot of good
complete?
people out there. Yeah,
Oh,
I
good.
completely. Yeah, I mentor out there now. It's
Oh,
really good.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that why you were in Arizona not that long ago?
Yeah. I go out there probably 6, 7 times the last 2 years to do courses. See,
Okay, so Implant Pathways, you're a mentor there now. That's so awesome. So, is there any case now? I'm talking clinical, but I'm just curious because a lot of docs, especially a lot of the hungry, I don't want to cast type, but the male gunners, they're all into like full arch, like let's do all the sinus lifts. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of his training too, just in case you want to reach out to Rich and ask him about his experiences with certain courses, which and now he's a mentor at Implant Pathways. And I've heard amazing things about Implant Pathways. So you
yeah.
definitely recommend it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Awesome. And okay, so going back, we talked about your CT. Um, did we cover all of the software that you're
Um,
implementing?
one other thing I think we're going to implement, well, two more things. One is our membership plan. We're working with Clary.
Okay.
It used to be Clear, and before that it was Membercy. They've changed their name a couple of times, but Clary just partnered with CareStack. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
a huge deal because when you want to talk to patients about comparing their insurance plan or their current treatment plan with what it could look like if they were on the membership plan, to be able to pull that up side by side on your PMS is and print it out is a really beneficial thing because it's hard to get people to understand unless they can see them side to side.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Same with tracking those Clary, and the PMS financial side of things is also really beneficial. And then we're working with a Dr. Darren Flesher. Um, he has a company called AIRO, or I don't know if they pronounce it AIRO or Aero Dental, but it is an AI communications type software.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and I was pretty blown away when he played me his examples of what they've developed so far. It was very realistic. And we primarily would use that to answer calls after hours or overflow calls or weekend calls, just so we don't miss calls. Because as you know, that's super important if you can reach out to all the people that are trying to reach out to you. And if you miss those, they're just going to call somewhere else.
Now, do you already have a computer that you're setting up as your mobile server for right now, since you're still waiting for everything to open?
We just signed our partnership with CareStack. So
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna start, using that on just my gaming laptop at home until
Gotcha.
things are set up at the office. Because right now we just got power at the building. We don't have internet yet. So that's why I'm doing this Zoom call at the bank.
I love it. Your bank is super awesome that I mean, this is like free marketing for them. Look at this.
I
You have to
know.
watch the video, guys. He is totally in front of their selfie wall. So
Yeah, I like
Southern
this.
First.
Yeah, I like this sign too. How will you impact lives today? I
Ah,
might steal that.
that is a good one. I
Mhm.
might steal that too. Now, have you already created like a waiting list for prospective patients? And if so, how are you capturing those leads? Are they being led to your cell phone, your email address?
We set up a landing page. Studio 88 helped me set up a landing page shortly after my departure from the group I was with, just because I knew that you know, they wouldn't be openly offering where I was going. So we set that up so that patients would have a place to go because, as you know, in contracts, you want to be careful not to solicit
Yeah,
patients. So you don't want to be reaching out to people. But in so to circumvent that, we did set up the landing page. We put some posts on social media about the web address, and then that landing page had a link to join a priority list where patients could put in their name, phone number, and email, or they could choose how much information that they wanted to put in there. And then that went directly to an email account that we set up. And then I just put that into a spreadsheet. And then what we've been doing is once a month throughout the construction process, just kind of giving like a little teaser about where we are in the process and that we're excited that they reached out and we're getting close and we'll be letting them know when we're going to open up scheduling. So it was really, really good. And I got that idea through Josh because you had done something similar. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah,
I just
thanks for
wanted
that.
you to talk about me. So no, just kidding. No, well, I set that up, but I also mistakenly gave everybody my cell phone. I'm like, freaking A, the things that you do to get people, to sign up. I'm like, that's so crazy. So don't, if you're listening to this, guys, learn from my mistakes. Don't give out your cell phone. Okay, friends, quick break to thank our sponsor, Studio 88. Starting your own practice is hard enough, right? The last thing you need is to become a full time marketing expert, too. That's where Studio 88 comes in. They don't believe in cookie cutter marketing, they believe in your story, and they help you tell it beautifully, strategically, and in a way that actually connects with your dream patients. Over 500 dentists, including me, have trusted Studio 88 to help build a brand that feels true to who you are and grows with you. So if you're ready for marketing that actually works, head to s8e8.com. That's the letter S, number 8, letter E, number 8.com. Book a discovery call and see how they can help you build something extraordinary because your story is worth it. And now let's get back to the show. Okay, so Arrow or AI Row. And then, so does that cover it
Yeah,
for the software?
yeah, I think that's everything.
Awesome. And then, do you want to talk about equipment next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we already covered your CT. So you went
Yeah.
with a plan Mecca this go around because you really liked what you saw at. Did you go to like a dental conference and they displayed it?
No, I had heard good things about it, and then because their Eastern like headquarters or whatnot was in Charlotte, I just went up and visited,
Awesome.
and they demoed it for me and spent probably 2 hours with me going through it. I thought it was really cool of them to do that. I mean, I know they're trying to sell me the machine, but it was,
Yeah,
it was still good to see that.
nice. And what chairs did you end up going with?
So I really love my ADEC 500s in my first office, but this office is so much bigger. I felt like the quality of the DCI chairs were really good, and they were considerably
Way
less
more
expensive.
affordable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I went to their spot in Charlotte too. There's a lot of dental um, headquarter things in Charlotte. So
Oh,
it
nice.
makes it convenient to be able to just drive, hour and 15 minutes up there to test the equipment out and try it. So I got to sit in those. I really like those. And then for cabinetry, we worked with design ergonomics
Okay.
for the layout of our space. Once we knew the size of the building and how we wanted to orient it on the orientation of it on the property, we work with design ergonomics about this is the square footage that we have. How can we maximize this and make the most efficient workflow?
Mm-hmm.
And so our operatories are a little smaller than in my first building, but we're not doing any side dental cabinetry. We're doing a very sleek sink with some wall built-ins, and then it's rear delivery. So really, the only thing in the middle of the room is the chair, nothing
Mm-hmm.
attached to it. And I had rear delivery in my first office, and I liked it.
So no problems with your back or torquing your back.
No, I mean, I think staying active has helped
Mm-hmm.
with that because I definitely don't have the best posture.
Me too.
I've been looking into, I mean, when you do some of the surgery procedures or some of the stuff that we do, it's kind of hard. And I don't work through a scope. I would love to, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of just have to position yourself to be able to get things done the best as you can, as fast as you can. And sometimes that doesn't
Yeah.
always mean standing upright. But I do alter between standing and sitting throughout the day, depending on how I'm feeling. And with the rear delivery system allows me to do that.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
yeah.
No, so design ergonomics designed your entire floor plan, correct?
Yeah, they help me, everything clinical, they help me to design. And then I had looked at a lot of different office spaces online too, as well as past projects that I had done to try to create a workflow and a patient flow that was more circular rather than back and forth.
I like that.
So we have our hygiene room. Every room is set up similar, so that you don't have to move a patient to do a bite adjustment or something like
Yeah.
that. But we do have one part of the office that is more dedicated hygiene, and then one part that is more for restorative, and then there's two that we set aside completely separate from those for
The
more
surgical.
surgery or longer procedures where we'll do sedation.
Do you remember the dimensions of each of those rooms?
I don't. Something tells me they're a little bit. I think in my first office they were 10 by 10, and I think in this office they're like 9 by 11 or 9 by 12. I know they're a foot more narrow. They don't feel super small. I
Okay.
can't remember the square foot for each op.
We also don't have side cabinets,
Yeah.
and you really don't miss them.
No, and the thing that I like about not having those is, assistants get territorial,
Oh,
so
yeah.
they have they call it their room. And if they end up working with you in another room and it's not set up the same as their room, even if you stress to the team you want all the rooms set up the same,
Yeah.
then they're getting frustrated or they're going to the other room because they know where things are. So we're doing more of a bin system. So with design ergonomics, they're big on carts. So there's a rear cart that goes along with your rear delivery system where you can keep probably a week's supply of the things that you use for every procedure. But then beyond that, we'll use those, they're like little tubs to
Mm-hmm.
where everything comes from your sterilization, where you're bringing what you need for that procedure to the room. So just makes it a lot more efficient,
Yeah.
I think.
No, I agree. We also have the tub system too. It's very convenient for sure. Now, how many operatories are you equipping from the start?
We're gonna do six. We probably didn't
Oh,
have to do
wow.
six, but we in my first go around we did three, but we quickly added a fourth. Um, so I think we're optimistic in our expectations for growth. So
Yeah.
just biting the bullet and rocking six from the get-go.
I love it. Pretty soon, I swear, the next time I talk to you, you're going to be looking for an associate. It's yeah. Awesome. Did they give when you were buying all your equipment, Rich, did they have a lot of like specials or did you get good deals when you were setting up your office?
I feel like I did. What do I have to compare that with?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna call up a bunch of different docs and say, hey, what
Yeah.
did you get on this? You just at some point you got to trust the people that you're working with, that they have your best interests because they see the size of my project,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm sure they want to continue to work with me as we grow into the space. So I felt good about the pricing that we got. Everything was transparent, and they've been really good to work with. One thing that it has really made me feel good is when I put the different people that I'm working with in touch with each other,
Hmm.
because as things come together to move in the equipment or to set this up or this order's coming in, man, I need this done by this time. They've all come to me and say, man, this is one of the smoothest projects we've ever worked on. So
Oh, nice.
that has really made me feel good about the people that I've chosen to work with and the type of work that they do. So I'm really thankful for that.
Oh, that's always nice to hear that things are going smoothly. And you touched on this a little bit earlier, IT. So, how did you end up choosing your IT company and are they dental specific?
I don't, that's a good question. I know they do primarily medical and dental. I don't think they're just dental specific, but the equipment rep that I'm working with through Banco spoke highly of this gentleman out of
Okay,
Charlotte. He has a company that does a lot of work in our area.
nice.
And then once he introduced me, just the ease of communication back and forth, whether it be a phone call or a text message or email, that's huge for me,
Yeah,
to be able to get questions answered very quickly. And they were really good about that. So,
good.
yeah.
And And you're doing predominantly Benko ordering, or are you
Yeah,
also doing like Darby, any online?
primarily banker. Yeah.
Okay. Now, did Benko have a master list for you to go off of? How did you create your supply order list?
As far as the sundries go, they had their master list, and then I looked through it to see if I felt like any of the things were things that I never use. And then we might still run into that as we're moving everything into the space. And, as long as we don't open it, we can send it back. But it's hard to catch everything.
Yeah.
But as far as instruments, the type of cassettes that we were looking at using, a lot of that stuff, just because I've been practicing for so long, that list has gotten a lot smaller because
Mm-hmm.
I know what I can do without, and I know what I can absolutely not do without.
Yeah.
So I was very specific in the instruments that I selected. I need, 12 different instruments for a restorative procedure,
Right.
you know, stuff like that.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I think when they have those master lists, they really are putting everything under the sun.
Yeah.
And if you aren't careful, that supply budget is just going to go out of whack very fast. And then you open and you realize, holy crap, I didn't need to order all this gutta percha if I don't do endo. Like it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
um, and also think about docs, think about the procedures that you absolutely are going to refer out. Like
Mhm.
even if your game plan is eventually getting an associate to do those other procedures that you don't do, then order those things, but be very conscientious of the budget. And also, do you have someone at your bank who is managing your funds, your budget, all of that stuff?
Yeah. I work with someone specifically, William Johnson is his name, and I've been working with him for years. But he will do site visits. If there's something that I need to meet with him on. But my contractor's been really good too and transparent with working with the bank. So we'll all three get together and see where we are with things. But yeah, they make sure that I'm satisfied with the work that's been done. The bank makes sure that the work is visibly complete. And the company that I'm working with, as far as the construction goes, has a really good reputation in the area. So
Mhm.
they get their subcontractors paid on time, and it's just been really smooth.
That's so nice
Yeah,
to hear. It
but
sounds like you have a really solid team in place. Hey, friends, I just want to give some love to Net32 for supporting this episode. If you're a practice owner like me, you know the back end of running a dental office isn't always sexy, but it is necessary. Net32 is an online marketplace where you can compare brands, vendors, and prices all in one place. That means you're not overpaying or wasting time. And when you're building a startup or juggling multiple practices, every dollar and every minute matters. I've used Net32 and it's honestly made a huge difference. Check them out at net32.com/the making of. And now let's get back to the show. Now, can you walk us through, Rich, just the time frame for when you started buying the actual purchases, like your equipment? Because I think oftentimes you think you're in the build out and then holy smokes, you're already supposed to be like open and seeing patients and yet you're
yeah,
still waiting for things. Like can you walk us through when you started purchasing the actual items, or are you still waiting to purchase some things? And
yeah. So as I had mentioned in one of the previous episodes, there's two primary loans. There's the construction loan, which includes land in the building, and then there's the FF&E loan, which is your equipment, furniture, fixtures. So as soon as you draw from those loans, you're paying interest on what you draw, no matter what kind of is ticking. So
mhm,
for things that don't need to be paid for right away because you can't use them in that FF&E loan, you don't want to draw from that. You want to hold off of that as long as you can. So the only things that I've put down payments towards on that FF&E loan thus far was I had to put a down payment down beyond that now because they're starting to fabricate was the dental specific cabinetry that's
mhm.
being made that I'm ordering from Design Ergonomics because that's custom to my space, especially sterilization. So that was something that I had to put money towards. probably about 6 months ago. And then as the data wiring and things like that started to be put into the building and all the IT, I've been paying that as it goes. And then I had to put a deposit down on some of the waiting room furniture because some of that stuff had to be ordered as well. But I haven't made any payments as far as supplies, chairs, technology, none of that stuff yet, just because we still have another couple months, or a little over a month before we're in. And the banker rep, he would tell me if something was going to be delayed or back ordered, they would push me to go ahead and order it. But thus far, we haven't had any issues.
Okay, awesome. I remember when we built the second location, I do have the ADEC chairs, which, gosh, they are beautiful, but dang, they are freaking expensive. And they were on like back order. So I had to order them, I swear it was like a year before our
Yeah.
office opened. It was crazy. Um, but yeah, just so guys, definitely if you have a solid person that you trust and they are well versed in like doing this for multiple offices, ask them their like time frame, ask them like any regrets or something, because the last thing you want is to be stuck with equipment you're not going to use, or you ordered too soon, or you bought supplies that are going to go expired and you barely opened doors. Do you have any startup regrets, I guess maybe from the first location, that really made you think twice about this location?
I didn't build my lab space big enough. I don't do much lab work, but when you start bringing in a mill and potentially later on printers or just even Invisalign or clear aligner storage and records and stuff that you want to keep in a specific spot, it's nice to have a place to work that's separate and secluded
Yeah.
from everything else that's going on. So we did a little bit bigger lab in this and then I overspent on cabinetry for sure in the first office.
Mm.
Lighting, I think, is really important. Um, we, I did a little bit more digging into the ideal light for operatories versus the rest of the office, as far as how bright it should be and all that to for accuracy of shade, but also for how people feel. So we did a different type of lighting in the common areas versus the operatories.
So you have overhead lights on your chairs?
Yeah. So in the hallways in the waiting room, everything is either like, interior design type of lighting or it's like can lighting.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had the can lighting in my first office, even though there were several of them in the operatories, it cast shadows. It wasn't as easy. Luckily, all my operatories had windows, so that was nice.
Mm.
And they have windows in this office as well.
Oh,
But
nice.
in the operatories for this office, we went with I don't know what it's called. It's a flat panel light, but it disperses light in a way that there won't be those little
Is it
pockets where it's not getting light.
is it a dental specific company that creates those
No,
operatory lights?
no, no. We actually didn't because I wear loops and I'm gonna have my assistants and my hygienist wear some type of headlamp too. We didn't get dental specific like
Gotcha.
overhead lighting with this office.
That'll save you like 8 to 10
Yeah,
grand right there
yeah,
per
yeah, for
operatory.
sure. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
then another thing that we just because I've used them so much out at Implant Pathway is for hygiene, because the hygienists work by themselves a lot without an assistant. We stuck with the in-wall X-ray machines with the
Okay.
tubes, but in our restorative chairs, we're doing not Nomads, but the Vatek version of the handheld.
Nice.
Yeah,
Um, do you remember what sensors you bought
I
or
think
you're buying?
I think they're Plan Mecca sensors.
I'm not good.
Uh, they're either Plan Mecca or Schick. I can't remember.
Are you introducing any AI for radiographs in your practice?
Yeah, we're using Overjet.
Okay, we have
Yeah.
Overjet too.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it too. And patients really love seeing the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
highly recommend.
Another thing that we're going to use, that I actually met one of the relatives of the owners at one of my Smile Train courses out in Arizona. Smile Viz. Have you heard of Smile Viz?
No, tell me about it.
So SmileViz is an AI company that I guess they worked with a bunch of cosmetic dentists, getting before and after photos, and worked with a lot of labs. It's basically, you know how you'll do a virtual wax up for a patient, you'll do a photo series, you'll send it off, or there's some softwares that you can mess with on your computer, but you can do it on exocad too, but it never kind of looks quite right, as far as when you're showing what their smile could be. Smile Viz, basically they can even take a screenshot of, like, if you had a QR code in your office, they could take a selfie of themselves and then run it through SmileViz and just swipe, and it basically transforms their smile to an aesthetically
Oh my gosh.
balanced smile of what it could look like if they were
And
to go through ortho or veneers. It's really cool.
and you don't have to manipulate it at all, like it's already done for you.
No, I mean, you have to be very clear to them that,
Okay.
but a lot of people wouldn't even know what the possibilities could be if they didn't have something to show them. And if they could see it that quick without
Yeah.
having to come back to your office after you have a chance to work with it. It's a really cool AI tool to do that.
I mean, AI is just, we're going to be replaced, Rich, I believe, in a few years. Brian was telling me there's a robot. There's a robot, Rich, that cut a crown in a patient's mouth in 15 minutes.
Man,
I,
have you seen the Yomi, that
Yomi.
the
No.
chairside robot that it helps assist like implant placement?
Stop it. No.
Yeah, there's a guy I know in Nashville that has one, and then there's one of the mentors out at Implant Pathway. I think he practices in Montana or Minnesota. He has one, but yeah,
That's
it's
so
pretty
crazy.
wild. Yeah, it
Wait,
merges
so
with the CT. It comes with its own software, and then your CT software merges with that, and then basically just hover over the implant site, and it'll recognize where it is, and it just helps you. You still kind of like a Tesla. You still need to drive it, but it's basically tells you exactly where you are
where to go?
before it goes in. Yeah.
Is it do you have to secure the patient's head to a
Yeah,
I
I think
think I
there's
know
de
what you're
yeah, I think you definitely have to, yeah, because but I think it also can sense movement too, to accommodate. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I don't
It's
know a ton
wild.
about it. I just know it's out there, and I've watched quite a few videos and heard people talk about it.
So is that next up on your list? You
Uh,
gonna buy that?
no, that's a pretty high ticket item. I would love to be placing that many implants to be able to need it, but no, not
I
yet.
are you said you're not starting with a like a 3D printer yet?
No, my workflow in the past has always been in-office milling, and I've talked to some lab technicians, and I do think in-office milling will be replaced probably in the next
Mm-hmm.
couple of years. But it's a workflow that I know, it's a workflow that I'm used to, and I do want to get into doing more printing. I would love to never have to band a class two restoration. I would love to be able to scan and print everything. Uh,
Yes.
so I know the materials are definitely getting to where they need to be for a lot of that, both aesthetically and structurally.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just not there yet. And with everything else that you have to take on when you're starting a new business and building a practice, you kind of have to pick and choose, because
Yeah.
if it's chaos all the time, then it's not fun for anybody.
No.
And I can recognize that in myself, that when it comes to the clinical side of things, I got to stick with what I know right now and what works, because I know the results will be there, and that's what we're going to build our patient base off of.
And so you are starting with like a prime mill? A CEREC?
Yeah, Prime Scan, Prime
Prime
Mill, and
Scan.
then we'll probably have another scanner in the office. I haven't decided which one. I really like the Shining scanners, the Shining
Oh,
Elf and the Shining Elite.
there's
Um,
so many on the market. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I really do like the Itero Lumina. I think it's a great scanner. You have the fees that come with that. I do think that they've opened that up now to where you don't have to. I think you can send that off. In the past, I think it was a closed system more, but I think it's open now to where you can utilize that for just like you would another scanner. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. You talked about some construction updates. Like
Oh
what else
yeah.
is happening in the practice as we
Yeah.
speak?
So the building has power now, so that's huge.
So huge.
Yeah. The parking lot is, I don't know if the parking lot was paved the last time I talked to you. That's done. We finalized our landscape, so that'll be going in here soon.
Nice.
Um, we have both Benko and Design Ergonomics on the schedule for 2 separate weeks in June because we had to coordinate that. So coming up here, we should, oh, the custom cabinetry, like the stuff that's not dental, that's been being put in this week. So that's big.
Oh,
Um,
Rich, that's exciting. You
yeah,
need to get footage of this stuff.
I know. I have lots of pictures, just not photos.
Oh, and you guys are leaving for New Mexico.
Yeah, we're leaving for New Mexico tomorrow and we'll be back Tuesday. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Well, you guys have an enjoyable vacation and reach out to Rich, guys, if you have any questions, advice. Rich, do you have any questions for the audience to help you with at this state?
No, I mean, I'm always looking for advice on my own. I surely don't pretend to know everything. I've learned a lot of what I know through mistakes. So any advice is always much appreciated. You can DM me on Instagram or send me an email at richconstantinedds@gmail.com. I'd love to
Perfect.
chat.
And we both want to see DMs of what your peanut butter serving size is. So if you could just send a photo of a spoon and some peanut butter, I just want to feel seen. But Rich, no, honestly, if you do get a spoonful of peanut butter, will you just like send it to me? I just want to see how much peanut butter you're consuming.
It doesn't matter what the size is on the spoon, it's how many times you go back.
Gonna go way different direction with that last one. All right, guys. I think this is a perfect place to wrap. Catch- We'll catch you guys next week, and I think we're both blushing. All right, we will catch you guys on the next episode of the Making of Evelina Smiles. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
Ashley. Bye.
Thanks, Rich.